Hey guys, so a lot of people ask me how I lost the weight, and um, I just want to go ahead and talk to you guys about my health journey, my fitness journey, whatever you want to call it. So, my whole life, I was a bigger girl growing up. I did live with my grandparents for a while, and they like to feed you with cookies and brownies and soda and anything that'll make you happy. That's how they show you love. And I wouldn't take back that part of my life for anything because I have great memories with them. And I wish they were still here to shower me with brownies and cookies and all the things that grandparents do for you. And yeah, I would not trade that for the world. But I remember something that stands out to me was being in third grade, and for our health class, the teacher wanted to weigh us. I don't even remember why, but she wanted to weigh everybody. And I got nervous, a 9-year-old shouldn't feel that way, but at that age, I already had body confidence issues, and my teacher weighed me, and I was 125 pounds, and all the other little girls were 80 pounds, 90 pounds, because that's what's normal when you're in elementary school. But I was not, and that upset me that day. I remember that. And so we're gonna fast forward to 2012. I met this boy, and for 2.5 years, he made me feel absolutely worthless, like I had no self-confidence, no self-worth. I was cheated on, and when we were together, he would tell me, you need to go to the gym, blah, 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 like obviously telling me I needed to lose weight. Around that time, I was in 10th grade, about 190 pounds, and up until then, I didn't really ever see a problem with how I looked, but then I linked how he treated me to what I looked like, and I said, if I would have been skinnier, he wouldn't have cheated on me. But obviously, look at me, wasn't my fault, wasn't it at all. And that situation made me so much stronger in the end. But I was 190 pounds, and I was sad, and so I stopped eating, and I'd throw up. I would get myself so worked up. And but then once I got over being sad and went back to hanging out with my friends and doing all those things that a normal high schooler should do, I gained up to 225 pounds my senior year of high school. That's a lot. That's insane. And I didn't even realize, but I was eating Chick-fil-A for breakfast with the Starbucks Frappuccino. That alone is what I eat in a day now, probably calorie-wise. Like, that's crazy. For lunch, I'd have like cheese fries and chicken tenders, and then I would have a big cinnamon bun and a bag of chips from our snack bar. And then for dinner, I worked at the mall, so I'd eat whatever was available. Which obviously none of that was good for me. And then Auntie Anne's was right across from my work, so guess where I went for a snack before I got off work? Auntie Anne's. So I was eating for about 4,000 calories a day because I never drank water. I only drank sweet tea. So yeah, that's insane. But that year, I didn't really see a problem with it until I got sick, and I had to go to the doctor, and I got on the scale, and I weighed 225 pounds. Like, wow. That was a slap in the face to me. When I got the paperwork, as soon as I got home, I got rid of that paperwork that had that number on it, because that's what it was. It was a number that destroyed how I felt about myself. And, I couldn't let that happen anymore. I hated myself for it. So I hid I hid the paper. My family was like, oh, the scale was probably wrong. There's no way that's what you weigh. And of course, that's what you say to somebody when they're freaking out about their weight. But that was real. That was my reality. And then a few months later, after I graduated and was in college, I met Ryan. And he completely changed my life. Never once did he make it seem like I wasn't good enough for him. And I'm a big girl, and he had just come from doing wrestling, and he was super fit, and I was not. And I was like, he can never fall in love with a girl like me, labeling myself by a stupid number on a scale, and the stupid number that comes in the tag on the clothes that you put on your body. Like, all of that I let define me, and it brought me down. I thought so little of myself. And then Ryan comes along, and he builds me up, and he tells me every day how beautiful I am, and never once mentions my diet or how fat I was, because I was. I mean, I had a lot of fat on my body, that plain and simple. And he never once mentioned any of that. He made me feel so good about myself for the first time in a really long time. And come 2017, I was like, new year, new me, let's do this. Let's go to the gym. I don't want to look like this anymore. So I stepped on the scale at the gym that day when I got my membership, and I had lost 25 pounds. I was 200 pounds. So I was like, okay, gonna start today, gonna lose weight. And I did lose weight. I lost 50 pounds I wish I could say it was 6 months, but it was only 5 months. 50 pounds in 5 months, and that's a lot. And it was very unhealthy. I would only drink a muscle milk for breakfast. I had 1 chicken breast for lunch, and I would eat 1 to 2 crab cakes for dinner, and that was it. But I saw the weight falling off of me, and I was going to the gym, and I was so proud of myself. It's the best I had ever looked. It's the best I had ever looked physically, but even still mentally, there was something that wasn't quite right. My relationship with food wasn't right. And when my Meemaw passed away, I went right back to eating my feelings and emotional eating, and just binging, basically, because I had held myself back from all those yummy foods for 5 months. Like, I hadn't eaten a cheeseburger or had a piece of cake, and that's really robbing yourself of experiences. And so 2017, 2018, that was a hard period for me, because I had just moved out of my parents' house. I was learning how to live without them and pay all the bills, just me and Ryan by ourselves. And that was hard for me, and I gained weight back pretty fast. And last November, I was 185 pounds. And after I moved all of our furniture and stuff up 3 flights of stairs, I was like, wow, girl, you were so out of shape. I was saying negative things to myself again. It didn't matter what anyone told me. I hated how I looked. I hated my body. I had no body confidence whatsoever. And so that's when I made the decision to start and not give up. And I'm so glad that I did, because this year has been such a journey for me, and my mental, I'm so much happier mentally, physically. Everything in my relationship with food has changed drastically. Like, all my coworkers were counting their macros and doing this KK Wellness Challenge. And for the first half of the year, that's what I was doing. I would use MyFitnessPal and track every single calorie I would eat. I could probably walk into the grocery store and tell you macros and calories on all these food labels. And that might work for some people, but for me, that did not work. I was miserable, and I was still holding myself to a number, whether that be the number of calories in that snack or the number of carbs in a piece of bread. Like, I can no longer do that to myself. I can no longer hold myself to a number, because I'm so much more than a number and you're so much more than a number. And I'm not saying that's a bad way to lose weight, because it's not at all, and it helps and it works, but it didn't work for me. So that's when, I guess I would say starting in June, I learned how to find my balance with food, and I eat balanced meals. I love healthy food now. I only ever drink water because that's all I crave. But if I'm going out with my friends, I'm not going to starve myself all day until we go out. I'm going to eat my normal meals, and then when I go out, I'm going to eat with my friends. I'm going to have a drink, and I'm not going to worry about the number associated with that certain food, because I've done that way too long. And I used to get so discouraged when I would put on a pair of jeans that I thought should fit me and they didn't. It was just a number on a pair of pants. That's all it is. It's a number on a pair of pants, and go up a size if you have to. That doesn't mean that you're less beautiful or less of a person. It just means that those clothes were made differently, and we all know women's clothes suck when it comes to sizing, because you can be a 4 in one store and a 12 in another, and you know what, who cares? As long as it makes you feel good, you know, it's just a size. So I want you to know that if you are on a health journey and a fitness journey, that if you ever need someone to talk to, you can talk to me, because I've been through it all with my weight. And I want you to know that you are more than a number on the scale. You are more than the number that's in your jeans, and you can do the damn thing, and I'm proud of you for trying. Thanks for watching.